you know what? Better late than never. It's Dirty Thursday with the Bullring Boys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good morning, Heather. It's about time. We know. Nick, good morning. Amanda, Joe, Nick, Travis. We're sorry we're running late, but we had some technical difficulties. Welcome to a Dirty Thursday. It is Racetrack Announcer Day. Our guest today, not only do we have the other half of the Bullring Boys, Chad Hoff here, Brendan Grover is here also, and he's a track announcer, kind of new to the game here as of last year, not too far away, but we're going to be talking with him. It's going to be a great time. Our show, by the way, today brought to you by Northwest Tire in Grand Forks, where there's all kinds of things going on. You guys are probably still looking to hire somebody, I'm guessing?
You are guessing correct.
Okay, just call you, 701-780-8473.
You got it. Give me a shout. Looking for truck tire tech service driver type thing, and also front counter sales associates. So, yeah.
Okay. You can go online, too, to nwtire.com. You guys pay pretty good. You got a good benefit package, all that, PTO, health insurance, 401k. So get a hold of this dude right here. So again, show brought to you by Northwest Tire. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, we've already got a bunch of them. Call us up, 701-213-0863. Call or text 701-213-0863. We got to do it. It is time for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Our radiator is essentially a vital organ to a car. So it's kind of weird that the town in the movie Cars is called Radiator Springs. Isn't that kind of like humans having a city called Liverpool? I thought that was
He's laughing.
I thought that
He's
was
laughing.
Funny he thinks it is.
Well, I always know I have a good liver because it's the size of a watermelon. So
Yeah.
it's got to be a good liver.
Got to be good.
A couple of things we need to talk about before we get rolling here.
Clear up the news.
Yeah, first off, they got this thing, Hot Laps and Laughs, that is going on tonight. Help the Grand Forks Racing Hall of Fame create a permanent home for the Hall of Fame memorabilia. East Grand Forks Eagles from 6 to 9 tonight. Free will offering. They're going to have a taco bar and all that stuff. So you can check that out. Let's see, racing schedule as we try to get going around the tundra here. River Cities Speedway, we just got the word they have canceled tomorrow's racing, which kind of sucks. But Devil's Lake, now they are still tentatively a go for Saturday. They'll have Pure Stocks, Street Stocks, Wissota Midwest Mods. The Wissota Late Models are going to be there, and also non-wing sprints. And I think Buffalo River is trying to get a test and tune going for Saturday.
Sure.
And that's about all that you're going to find around here. So, and I think that, and I have also got tickets. I still have the raffle tickets for Forks Karting Association. They are $10 a piece. They have got some really, really good prizes.
And you've sold how many?
Yeah, I've sold one.
Still the one.
Shh, Kenny's probably listening. But the test and tune also tomorrow, or there should be they're trying to get a test and tune for Forks Karting Association on Saturday.
Sure.
Really iffy right now. If we do get any rain, it's probably not going to happen. Right now it is scheduled, but check the Facebook and the website for Forks Karting Association, and they will let you know if they're going to do a test and tune on Saturday. Also, I don't know if you saw the social media yesterday, and I knew this. I just kept my mouth shut because I happened to have a beer with the guy on Friday.
Yeah.
Mark Dobmeyer, he's planning on racing. If we would have gone tomorrow night, he'd be racing. How about that?
Yeah. So 9 lives, man.
Yep.
Is he heading down to Houston then?
I don't know.
They posted on their social media that he is.
Okay. Well, good for him.
So he is going to be, well, that's what they say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. And Heather says, NLRA on Saturday at Devil's Lake, and we knew that. So, all right. Good. Should we start with this kid?
Let's go to him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, race fans, here we go. Racetrack announcer Brendan Grover in the studio. How you doing, man?
Oh, can't complain. If Chad would be on time, though, it'd all be okay.
Well, he was a little late, and we were running into problems. And you should have seen it when he came in here.
What?
He sprung one like boop.
Oh, dude, this place is sweet. I love it.
Did he? It's pretty nice, right?
I told
Okay, now
John
shut your mouth while I'm talking to you. No, I'm just kidding.
He was pretty jacked up when he came in.
It's an amazing place. We talked about a little bit. You should have been here when we first started, but to where it's completely gone now, Paul and John is taking this thing. It's pretty cool. A lot of people come in here and just kind of revelate of how nice this place is. Jason Berg, he has a radio show. He comes in here. He's like, I can sit here and talk all day, and it's awesome. So,
and he's got a hell of a studio.
Yeah,
where he
he's
does
got a
his
really
show
nice
at.
place.
Yeah.
So it's kudos to these two guys here that do this to make this thing look as good as it is. We're pretty professional here, real.
Yeah.
It's like I was telling John and Paul, I got my podcast that we do, Erect podcast on Wednesday nights. We've
Wait,
got
what?
Rico
Erect?
on. Erect. So it's actually
Kind of like how he was when he walked in here and looked at the studio.
Yeah. He's like, bye.
Swing.
I just wanted to point out that we want to thank all of the sponsors that helped us to make the studio like this, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to afford anything.
Absolutely.
I get the bill every month.
Yeah. But I tell you what, you've been with us on Dirty Thursday. Valvoline has been with us since like day one. Rumors, Sports Bar Casino, one of the very first people to ever cut us a check here at Grand Forks Best Source. And we couldn't do any of this without all of you guys. And again, man, there's a lot of people watching this show. Before we get into your life and find out about you, Brendan, you got a little giveaway you want to do here.
Yeah, so Devil's Lake is going to give away 2 free tickets to whoever can answer this question correctly.
C.
Maybe.
It's not multiple
maybe.
Choice.
Close, but no.
It's the only way you have a chance.
Who won the first late model race in Devil's Lake?
I know. Because he told
And
me earlier.
what year?
Who won the first race in Devil's Lake in what year?
I don't know that.
The late model race.
Yes.
Okay, all you got to do, text the answer.
In LRA.
And all right, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Because I'm just kind of trying to want a hint. Was Nolan
Heather, if you're listening, can we give a hint?
Nolan and Heather, were you guys operating the track at this time? That's a big
don't
question.
think they were.
I'm just saying.
Don't think they were.
Don't think so
I think I know who it is.
1832.
Tommy Corcoran, 1832. Tommy's going to be texting in now.
Heather says no.
No.
They were not.
All right, that's a big hint. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
if you know
stumped
the
now.
answer, to just text us 701-213-0863. We need the name and year.
Or comment on the Facebook as you're watching live, everybody.
Yep.
Nick Curtis, not you, because you're supposed to be driving. Nick is supposed to be driving
Huh?
right now. He's texting me and stuff, and he's like, I'm actually working, Chad. I'm just driving and listening in the background. But yet,
Oh, sure.
when we first came on, as he's driving, he says, "Good morning, boys." And Heather McDonald, you beat me to it. LOL. So, according to DOT laws, that's against the law.
So I probably shouldn't say I was Snapchatting the whole way up here.
No.
Well, you're fine. You're not. Were you employed driving?
Yeah,
up
you
here?
weren't driving commercially.
Yeah, so you're
Now,
good.
I was speeding, though.
I give Nick crap all the time.
Oh, even hauling beats. If you get caught on your phone in a beat truck,
$2,200 fine.
it's a law.
Yeah.
And your farmer you're working for,
Yeah.
they're not going to pay it for you either. So,
Absolutely not.
Oh, great. Brendan Grover, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't want to know anything about racing right now. I just want to know about you.
I'm here to party.
No, come on. Jeez.
Where you came from, what you do.
So born in Washington.
State?
Yep, Washington State.
Okay.
So actually, my uncles grew up racing with Casey Kane.
Oh, wow.
So Grandpa, I would be a 3rd generation racer if I'd have kept going at it. But
Okay.
Grandpa raced. Uncles both raced. Grew up racing with Casey. I moved to North Dakota 3rd grade. Grew up in Garrison. Going to Underwood, Minot for races. Started rodeoing. Rodeoed for 13 years. Won a North Dakota State championship. Broke a lot of bones.
What kind of what'd you do in the rodeo?
I bull rode.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
I know a lot of old bull riders. I used to kind of follow that circuit too. So
That's why he walks wide-legged.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why he has to.
A lot of people think race car drivers are dumb.
Yeah.
Bull riders.
They're stupid people. Awesome. I'm sorry. They're awesome people, but that's like the most dangerous sport you could ever do.
Well, you've always heard guys that drive sprint cars have a sack that's
Yeah.
bull riders. It's
Yeah.
a sack about like
It
that.
always
but,
pinches when they get on.
Okay, Heather, please don't text or Snapchat and drive. We're all guilty of it, but my sister-in-law's mother and boyfriend were killed in a car accident because the guy was Snapchatting and driving. Oh, my goodness. Chubby.
Randy Post. So I met Randy through iRacing.
Yes.
I actually end up sponsoring his real car with my Backstretch Productions. I'll be going out to Wisconsin, do a video for him this year. So pretty
Yeah.
excited about that. Nickname was Chubbs. I also see Ashton Mueller's in the chat. So
Yeah.
Ashton Mueller's my co-owner of the podcast that we do on
You
Wednesday
don't
nights.
have one, though. I understand that. Anyway.
Okay, I do want to show you something. Is that the correct answer? Don't say any, just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, you know who you are. Text this to our number, okay? 701-213-0863. We got a winner here.
No kidding. Can I see it?
But
Can I see it?
it's probably why he's not texting it into the main number. 1863. All right. Married?
If she doesn't drop the attitude, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow!
No, we're actually planning for not this September, but next September.
Okay,
Well,
congratulations, man.
there,
How
bud.
about
All
that?
right. Good deal.
What does she think about you gallivanting all over the tundra calling races?
She comes with.
Oh, she does?
You're
Okay.
kidding.
Yep.
That's
So-
awesome.
So she'll be running Darn TV's camera this year at Devil's Lake, and then in Minot, she actually runs my camera since I'm announcing. She does videos and stuff for me, so then all I gotta do is go home and edit them.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
That is so
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
I know my wife comes with me most of the times too, and she's always been kind of a fan of racing, but now she's really turning, because now, before it was always like, well, I don't know any of these people and it's so hard for me. Well, now that she's starting to get to know them, okay, now he wants somebody else to guess because he says he's got an unfair advantage. So
I agree
thank
with
you.
that.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, he's a hell of a guy.
Very much
again,
top notch guy. So
yeah.
him doing that
Right,
was
right.
pretty cool. So,
So
it's
here-
still open.
Yeah, so here's what we're looking for. Year and name of the first NLRA winner at Devil's Lake. You will win a pair of tickets to Devil's Lake Speedway. I know the answer now, but the guy that texted it to me, he says, let's give somebody else a chance.
So I knew the driver. I did not know the year.
Yep.
I was
Okay.
close, but
Okay,
no. No. No.
All right, we keep interrupting Brendan before he gets to finish anything.
Well, real
but-
quick, I gotta touch up. So you did that neighbor's joke, I got a dad joke for you guys too, real quick.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Do you know trees poop?
Trees poop, okay?
That's how they came up with the number 2 pencil.
Nope, not a good one. Not a good one.
I think mine was better.
Hofer, if
biggest-
you're listening, that's your fault.
Yeah,
That was your joke.
The biggest thing is we got to get producer Paul to laugh, and then we're good. But if he doesn't laugh, not a good one.
He's easier to make laugh than Dale, the producer, is.
Yeah.
He's always he does this
Well,
stuff to me all the time.
at least today he was laughing at you because you were laughing at your joke. So then he was laughing.
They're
so then
funny jokes. I had a marijuana joke yesterday. I thought it was funny as hell, but our state senator didn't think so. Anyway.
yeah.
How did you get your start in this game we call racetrack announcing?
So I was a little kid, played with Hot Wheels just like any other kid
Like
does.
we all
It's-
did.
Yeah.
I would sit and call my own races as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up doing that, and I've always been a big fan of racing. Always been involved in racing. Got my own race car. Spent a lot of money. Wasted a lot of money. Sold my race car, but I had a company with Lane Hanna out of Minot, who at the time was living in Hawaii. We had Dakota Sim Broadcasting. We were doing iRacing broadcasts. Well, we kind of quit doing that, but I'd sent over to Nolan and Heather because I seen they were looking. Sent over a clip. I believe I sent the clip to Chad as well.
I got the clip sent to from Heather. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they said, let's give him a shot.
I did say that.
Now I'm
yeah.
announcing at 3 tracks. I'll be at Underwood, Minot, and Devil's Lake full time at all those. And then Jason Berg, I'll be doing the Lightning Sprint Nationals this summer too. So
You're doing the whole Nationals summer?
Yep. Not the whole, like their 4-day show.
Their swing up here.
Their swing.
Their
So
swing.
you'll hear. So what do they got? Are they
Devil's
in
Lake
Ada?
Thursday.
Oh,
Nope.
Devil's Lake Thursday.
Devil's Lake Thursday.
Then here,
Yep. River Cities.
Greenbush, and
So that-
Buffalo
Buffalo
River.
So you're not announcing during the lightning sprints.
We're going to kind of do it.
I will be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's okay because anytime we bring in another announcer, that means less work for me.
He's gonna shit his pants.
I still get paid the same,
No,
so it
he's-
doesn't
he's
matter.
gonna crap his pants.
You know what? I can't wait to see you at the end of the year. You're just like pulling your hair out because you don't even know what freaking day it is.
Nah, I love it.
Yeah, okay, you say that now.
Yeah.
I mean,
We were there too. We were there too. I think and I'm
and
glad
you will love it.
I'm
You will.
glad you do love it right now because you're good at it. And so to have I call it younger generation, but to have the younger generation come up and do this stuff because all of us are getting older, we have kids, we're not gonna be able to do this forever. And so to have people like that come up and start doing it, travel a lot when you can right now, because when things change, I didn't believe it when John told me, but things change quick. When I moved here, Parker was 3. He's now 10, and it's nuts. You blink and it's gone. So, yeah, take it in now while you can and enjoy this, because it's gonna come to a short end.
Ding, 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 ding,
Hey,
ding,
we
ding,
have got a winner.
Marcus Tomlinson.
Marcus, did you call in a lifeline?
So Marcus Tomlinson is the winner, winner of that first NLRA race at Devil's Lake. It was the year 2001, and it was the late, great John Seitz. So again, Marcus Tomlinson. So Heather, if you're watching, remember that name, Marcus Tomlinson. And I would imagine, Marcus, all you'd have to do is show up at the racetrack, I would guess, and say, hey, I won free tickets on Dirty Thursday.
We're going to have the tickets at the front gate.
Okay, and so congratulations, Marcus. And again, thank you to Heather and Nolan at Devil's Lake for hooking us up with tickets to give to Marcus. So that is cool. Okay, now back to, you started with the iRacing thing. Is that how you kind of got going here?
Yeah, so iRacing was always a big thing for me. I always loved getting to race sprint cars, NASCARs, all that stuff, and not spend a lot of money or be in the back, make one lap. But absolutely loved it. Kind of was like, hey, I'm going to start my own broadcasting company. I seen there was a lot of people that did it, but I also seen there was a lot of need for it. Good, easy money on the side. Now it's my full-time job. Through the winter, announcing in the summer is my full-time job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, absolutely love it. I get to do that with iRacing. You see Matt Hayden commented on there. He runs one of the leagues I announced.
Yep.
And that Kevin Zabladil, very smart when it comes to just play-by-play and knowing cars and stuff. Had him in the booth a couple times and learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, iRacing's where it all began, and now it's taken off.
Where do you, where's home base for you?
Carrington.
Carrington. That's right.
They got the pasta plant in Carrington. I helped build it.
Back in 1783.
Yeah.
Tommy Corcoran had just left. Yeah. How did you get your start in this game?
How'd I get my start?
Yeah,
Holy
announcing.
crap. Okay.
Well, it's about all of us.
Yeah, so if you want to really
We could
dig
toot
in,
our horns a little bit.
yeah, if you really want to dig into me, I was actually a music major.
Yeah.
Yeah, you laugh. I was a music major.
One time
I
at band
I
camp.
had a music major with a what do they call that? A secondary degree in tires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
It works.
So I started announcing our college basketball games back then, and dabbling with some other little stuff on the side. I was a DJ part time, and then when we moved to Minot, the Minot Minotauros were looking for people, and I just got done sponsoring them, and I said, hey, if you need any help, give me a shout. Ken Oda, still there, gave me my first announcing gig at the Minotauros, and I started doing hockey. Well, I just been doing hockey. Then I did MSU hockey for Minot State, and then one summer I had Nodak Speedway contact me and say, hey, we need an announcer. So then I was like, okay, I'll give that a shot. So then I went and did their stuff. So I've been announcing, if you collectively all together, I'm close to 19 years.
Oh, wow.
So all together, and that's kind of how it went. Started doing it in Minot, and dirt tracking was just what it was. When I moved out here, I didn't plan on announcing anymore.
Yeah.
I planned on family time and everything else, and then Nolan and Heather got a hold of me.
Yep. And you know, it's when we first were introduced, it was I got moved upstairs because I used to be trackside.
Yep.
And Bob Hultgren, who I just talked to last weekend, was up at the booth, and so he retired, and I went up there, and I remember getting the call from Darren, and he says, "Yeah, there's this guy that's doing the announcing in Devil's Lake. I think he'd be okay here. So why don't you meet him and we'll give him a shot and see what he sounds like." And I mean, obviously we hit it off, I think, pretty quick.
Yeah, we did.
We hear it all the time that I think we make a pretty good team. Tommy says, Carrington, North Dakota, home of former Tri-Can Racing Association champion Howard Nelson. Ring a bell? This would have been the 1890s.
Yeah. No, we're dating him too much.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think you and I hit it off really well. My other announcing partners were good too. Larry McFall was always great. Announced with him for a while. I learned a lot from him. So I learned a lot going that route, and then just coming over here, which is so much fun. The first race I announced, I filled in, and you had to ride in the bus in the back. That's why I always remember that.
Yep.
And
That
then
was the first night.
that was the first night I got to announce up there, and so then Darren just he's like, well, we're gonna try this and give it a shot, and we'll let you know if it's gonna work out. Well, nobody ever let me know.
You just
So
keep
I'm
coming back.
still there.
It's funny. That's how it works for me too. It's like I just show up.
Yeah,
And
I'm
if
just-
they tell
yeah.
me to leave, I'll leave.
They
But I
want me
just
there.
keep showing
Yeah,
up.
if they want me there, I'm there. So no, I enjoy doing it. It's having a lot of fun. So I definitely did backscale a lot. You know, Brandon was awesome and took over Devil's Lake for me, and I went up there one night and kind of trained him in a little bit, and that's all it took. After that, I didn't have to. I let him do the whole night, and it was like, yep. I told Heather, this is, you don't need me. This is perfect.
Perfect.
So
Dude, and when he handed me that mic, because he didn't even say like, you're doing the whole thing. He's just like, oh, I'll be here. I got your back. Don't worry.
yeah.
He goes, and here's your new Devil's Lake announcer, Brendan Grover, hands me the mic, and I'm pretty sure I pissed my pants.
You know, that's funny because
It's like passing the torch. It was kind of
when I got my start up in the booth here, I was scared. Right. And okay, my story is 1983. I got accepted into television and radio school, and it was 6 days after I graduated from high school. They only took 12 people a semester, and if you were lucky enough to get accepted, you go.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I'm calling college hockey games and blah, blah, blah. Well, then I started working in radio, and there was a man named Don Jorsted who I went to school with his boys. He had 4 of the toughest SOBs boys you could ever imagine. And this guy was Don had legs about this long, just these little legs with these cowboy boots, but he had a voice, a golden voice. Well, he was kind of like a barnstormer back then. First off, I'd go on the road with him, and I learned how to do play-by-play sports. So not only did I know where every school was in northwestern Minnesota, but I knew where every American Legion club was. Well, Don was also a racetrack announcer, and he kind of barnstormed around.
Where did he announce that?
Well, back then you had Warren.
Yeah.
You had Hallock. You know, so I'd go bounce around with him to these tracks. And
that's cool.
he was a big-time snowmobile announcer, racer. So I ended up did a couple of 500s, you know, from the Thunder Bay down to the cities and stuff. But Don Jorsted is the one who got me going into it. And then, of course, you know, I raced snowmobiles, motorcycles, did the car thing for a while. I was out of it. I'd been wrenching on a car in Thief River before I moved here, and I was working at one of the radio stations here, and they needed an announcer for the Demolition Derby for the fair. And I remember this, and I don't know if she does, but I remember meeting Monica the first time. She was one of the head-ups up at the fair board. And so I met with her and said, okay, how do you want this to work? We'll do all this and that. And yep, okay. And I said, okay, where do I find a beer? And she's like, what do you mean, where do you find a beer? I said, well, I need a beer before we can do this. Well, you can't drink and work. Just about handed her the mic and said, yeah, you got the wrong person.
Yeah.
And, well, wait a minute. And the rest is history. I ended up going up. I was scared to death. I loved
That's
being
where the
down
beer
at-
comes into effect right there.
Well, it helps.
Yeah.
And I was scared to death for some reason after calling hundreds and hundreds of sporting events and games of all types. For some reason, I was scared to go up in that booth because race fans are a little different. A lot of them don't like change.
Yeah.
I
agree to that.
remember the look when I first started down in trackside. They had the guy that was there forever, and all of a sudden here comes Croc wearing cargo shorts, Buddy Holly glasses, Jon Roberts to the show. And when they first introduced me, the crowd, you could just see the people like, what is that? And it takes a while for them to, for you to grow on them and everything. But for some reason, I was nervous, and I wish I would have done it a long time ago because I have an absolute blast
How many
up in the booth.
How many years?
I don't even know how long it's been. To me, it seems like altogether, I got to be 15, 20. I don't even know. To me, it seems like 5.
Right.
But then again, there's the 80s.
Well, we always talk about the 80s. Anything with John in the 80s, you don't recognize much. But it is so cool when you look at all of our stories. We had somebody inspire us. Obviously,
Oh, absolutely.
Don inspired you. Larry definitely had a kick into me, got me going quite a bit, and I travel a lot with Larry McFall. Who was your inspiration to get you into like that dirt track racing thing?
Honestly,
Yeah.
don't even know, really. I mean, it just kind of was there. I know I definitely looked up to you two and Larry just because I got to listen to Larry growing up in Minot.
Right. Sure.
But I listened to you guys a lot at River Cities. And so that was kind of like, hey, I like the way these
Are we any good?
I mean, Chad, no. There's a reason Devil's Lake got rid of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was because you missed so much work with all your
time to-
procedures you were
it's time
having.
to- yeah.
Well, if that's the case, they're going to be booting me too because I'm missing a lot this year too. It's funny though because you say the cargo shorts and Crocs and stuff. I kind of made the Hawaiian shirts my thing at Devil's Lake. I'll
Yeah.
show up in a Hawaiian shorts, and Heather looks at me and goes, "Can we just make this like a patent thing? Like Johnny Gibson's got the white pants, you got the Hawaiian shirts."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Works for me."
Yeah. No, you got to have your own little niche, right?
Sure you do. Sure
so
you
that
do.
way everybody remembers you.
And you know what? Be comfortable when you're up there.
Yes.
And people don't realize, and we're going to get into some of this here as the show goes on, but you don't just show up, sit down, and say, "Hey, let's do this," and do it and go.
No.
There's a lot more involved with it than that. And we're going to find out more about this stuff. We're going to talk about some stories that maybe a few of us have got to tell, from ever being in the pits to almost getting hit by cars or whatever. But right now, we're going to take a short little break. We got to thank some of our sponsors. The first one being a company called Muskox. Hey, if you move snow with a skid steer, you've got to see the Muskox difference. A patented back drag feature allows operators to blow snow while back dragging in front of obstructions. Garage doors, siding, and fire hydrants. Now, this saves time and money while lowering injury risk by decreasing manual labor. The optional dual auger, called the dually, helps the operator eat through big snowfalls, ice-crusted snow, and blow more snow while back dragging. And the glide plate, it allows you to glide over grass and gravel without ripping up the soft surfaces. Subsequently, create an instant torque of the lower cutting edge to break up snow and ice to better expose hard surfaces. See the Muskox difference. Go to muskox.com or Facebook at Muskox Snowblowers or call 218-288-1905. See the difference for yourself. It's the Muskox difference.
Also, we want to thank everybody coming on here today as well. We also want to thank Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Life doesn't seem to ever slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. When it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Most oil changes take about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more to transmission and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And include in your oil change, they'll top off all your fluids. Check your tires, batteries, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter. You get discounts for fleets in the military too. They can text and email invoices, coupons, and mention GFBS and get extra $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is available within Grand Forks area. Come to Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. 3325 South 38th Street or call 701-780-8462 and make sure to tell them that GFBS sent you over there for their oil change.
How about that?
Shut up.
I'm amazed you could understand my reading or my writing.
I've done it before. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah,
nice
I
job,
like
and
your
thank
notes,
you.
actually. It's really, you can definitely tell that you were in the radio business because you have it very detailed. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I try. Hey, thank you for all the people that are texting in so far. And we have got, this has got to be pushing a record here, man. There's a lot of people watching.
Mr. Peterson is
Yeah,
watching.
the TPO,
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, how about that? You got any good stories to tell?
Good stories?
How about if I start this off?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of them I'm going to talk about is back when I was in RideOutCar.com Victory Lane.
Yeah.
Interviewing Mark Dobmeyer. Maybe you've experienced this before. When you feel something crawling up your lower extremity from the rear side.
Yeah.
And you turn over and you look at him and he's looking at you with that grin on his face.
Yeah.
You ever been grabbed by Mark Dobmeyer in the ass while you're trying to interview him?
I don't know Mark as well as you do, but I have been grabbed in the ass by some drivers, yes.
Or when he does the old ass grab, say if you got a trophy girl, and then he'll look at me like it was me that did it, you know, kind of thing. But yeah,
yeah.
that was one of them. Mark grabbing me in the butt, and I've also almost got in a fight with people before, and I'm not that kind of guy. But how about you? You got any good stories?
Oh, gosh. One that comes to mind that's always fun. Traveling with Brandon Beater was always a good time. There's a lot of cuss words in that story, so we're gonna miss that one. But I started a Facebook page when I was in Minot. It's called Legend of the New Guy, because I was always referred to the new guy in Minot. And then obviously I was working with what we call the Legend of Larry McFall. So I started a Facebook page called Legend of the New Guy, and it was kind of stuff we did, like pre-race shows. We did like just fun little get-together stuff, and one time I was getting bored and we're sitting in Williston and didn't know really what to put on the Facebook page. And Larry was in the porta potty. So I went down and interviewed Larry in the porta potty on Facebook Live. So that was probably the funnest time I've ever had because he's in how's it going, Larry? Oh, it's not going too good, Chad. You know, just going back and forth. Yeah, as he's taking a crap, right? You know, well, Larry, hope everything goes okay. It is hot outside, so that should lube everything up pretty well. Well, you would think so, Chad, but not really getting it done here. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's funny. I interviewed the drummer for Creed in the bathroom.
Did you really? Yeah.
Fargo Dome.
So, I mean, those fun stories, that'll never leave. You know, obviously, being the Victor Lane guy now, I've done a majority of my career of announcing has always been up talking in the booth. So I'm enjoying the time I have right now to talk to other people. But
Sure.
first wins are remarkable.
Oh, yeah. They're the best.
So, and the wins that haven't won for a while, and then they're so emotional about it that you get emotional. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
Joey
Yeah.
Peterson won.
Mhm. Oh,
I mean,
geez, yeah.
Those are big wins in my book.
Bobby Martin.
Bobby,
last
that
win,
was that one
unreal.
pissed you off because you weren't down there with me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't get down there fast
Yeah,
enough.
your knees wouldn't move.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Dobmeyer watching. I'm guessing he's maybe he's still down in Florida. But by the way, Mark Dobmeyer will be the guest on the 25th. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. You will probably take
50-50.
over.
Yep.
And Dale said he would be here. But I think we should do a segment when he comes in because Heather says, "Oh, don't think you're special with the Mark ass grab." Maybe we should do a little segment. How many butts has Mark Dobmeyer grabbed in
42.
Victory Lane?
42.
42.
42.
Hold on, can we count the same person more than once?
Sure you can.
Okay, 42.
How many times? It's just a
42.
number.
42.
Yep.
I mean,
I'll put a case of beer on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got any stories?
What's your favorite?
You're kind of young and new at this thing.
You're
but
new into
But I
it.
do.
Okay.
So, talking about first wins, I'm going to go to Drew Peterson last year. He's got the hounds on him the entire race. He's holding off Klostrick, all that were close strike.
Yep.
All them guys, you know, they're trying to beat the door down on him. 16-year-old kid wins it. Gets out of the car, and I go, Drew, how does this feel? It feels bleeping amazing on live TV.
Yeah, I saw
And,
that.
I mean, just you could see in his face when he climbed out of that car, I knew it was going to be a good interview from
Yeah.
right then and there.
Yeah.
And just perfect.
It's
it all.
nice to feel that right away, that you feel the emotion right away.
Yep.
So you got to make sure to contain yourself. Like, oh crap, I got a question to ask too, and I forgot it. But hey, hi, yep. So yeah, that's cool.
Well,
First
that's
wins
going-
are big.
I mean, that's going off when you were there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
I was working for Preston Carr, pretty close with the Carr family. Preston won it. I mean, you could hear in that when I was announcing, from regular announcing to when Preston took the lead, you know, the voice change. And then me walking down, Chad goes, ask him if you can get a raise.
Yeah, I did. I did too. The
get that raise.
hardest part of our job is not to try to be a fan or a favorite to something.
Yeah.
And that's
tough to
super
do.
hard.
You know, that's really hard.
Yeah, it is.
You look at John Test Memorial winner Aaron Turnbull 2 times in a row. I've watched him. I've known him for years in the IMCA mod.
I don't think I've ever met him.
Yeah, I've known him for years. Like back in my night, he was IMCA mod driver,
Yep.
Dakota Mod Tour winner. I mean, he's just the Turnbull name in the IMCA world is so big. So when he took the lead in the Johnson Memorial, I was doing nothing but cheering for him. It's so hard not to have your favorite guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Bobby Martin for you.
Yeah.
Those kind of
Yeah.
things.
Like-
It's tough not to be a fan. So that's why I make it a part. Try really hard to make it a part. And I know you do too. Don't know you as well, but I try not to wear any racing gear.
Yep.
Yeah, me neither.
Same.
Because I don't want anybody to think.
I've got
"Wow,
a ton
you-
of it
And
too.
that's-
You
I
know?
got so much. It just yeah.
That's where the Hawaiian shirts came in.
Right.
I got so many racing shirts. I got to find
Yep.
something
Right.
else to wear.
Yep.
yeah.
It's going to be
I
Hawaiian
mean, I can wear a
shirts.
Jade Hastings shirt, but I'm.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a good idea. The Hawaiian shirt's a sweet idea.
Yep. I
It
got
is a
I
great
got to go
idea.
off your ass grab thing with Mark though. Okay, I gotta go with that. Jory Berg, I know you're listening, and I swear to God, if you grab my butt when I'm interviewing you, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
You
like
know
your
that
dad
was an
did.
invite right there, Jory.
Jory
he doesn't
hugs
drink.
me.
He doesn't drink.
No.
I'll hook you up with whatever. Heather added a new twist to this, and I can't believe I didn't think of this. How many people has Mark mooned? How many has Wade mooned? I'll tell you a Mark Dobmeyer mooning story.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Dancing for the Special Stars?
Yes.
Okay, Mark Dobmeyer and I were competitors in the very first one.
Yeah, we had clips of that. Yep.
Many years ago, and you can see the mirror ball trophy is up there. By the way,
You got it up there?
yeah,
I can't see it because there's light right in my
see
face.
the sparkly ball there?
No, I'm seeing my bald head.
I got it because Mark gave it to me because he knows I was better, but he won it. Anyway, so after
Let
this
it go, John. Let it go.
incredible evening, we had gone to a local establishment and we're having a good time afterwards. We put a lot of work and effort into making this fundraiser go. And my wife was driving me home. And we were sitting at a stoplight on like 5th and Demers. And all of a sudden you hear this honk, 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 honk. And here comes this big Suburban flying by, going through the green light. And I look over and there's an ass hanging out the window. Bare ass, downtown Grand Forks. Mark Dobmeyer, a lot of people saw your butt that day.
I was going to say, Heather said he used to do the same thing, leaving the pits at Devil's Lake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Be there.
You know, my butt's not good looking. I don't know how many people I'd want to show my bare butt.
My butt's been seen, but it's now under wraps because I'm afraid if I do something crazy like that, my back will go out, and then I'll be sidelined anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see those lumps.
Oh, geez.
You know,
Well,
that's just for my wife to look at.
You got to be super cautious, too, around the people that drink Bud Light now.
Yeah.
Oh,
easy.
I don't even want to see it. You or your Bud Light. A lot of people don't realize there's more to being a track announcer than just showing up, sitting down, and calling a race.
Yeah.
I'll start with my typical day. I try to get there early.
Yeah, but you do this too. You're here too.
Well,
though.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the races say they start at 7 o'clock, I'm there at 5.
Yep.
The first thing I do is hook up all my equipment, do my sound checks, make sure everything's working right. I get my notes, and because there's always tweaking and changing, and if you want it to sound and go smooth, you sometimes have to redo some things. Yep. And then what I do is I usually steal Scott Iverson's golf cart, and I go to the pits because I want to see who's there. I want to talk to people. I want to get the feel. You can kind of tell the vibe of each class by talking to the drivers. Let them know we appreciate they're there.
Yep.
Let them know the fans appreciate they're there. And of course, you know, some of the drivers are more friends of mine than not because there's so many of them. And then you go up and you get rolling. Mm-hmm. Some nights, I mean, good example of John Size Memorial. That Thursday night, I think I called 20-some heats, 20-some races that night. I always, at the end of the night, I look at it this way because it's obvious none of us are monotone guys when we talk.
No.
I can tell you how good the racing was by how bad my throat hurts at the end of the night.
Could you imagine a monotone announcer?
Oh, my goodness. No, I couldn't. I'd probably have to listen. It'd be like watching a UND Fighting Sioux hockey game on TV. I'll watch it on TV, but I'll listen to Tim Hennessy do the radio play-by-play. It'd be one of those kind of things. I'd probably have a Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack playing in my headphones so I could just watch the racing. But I just want to know if what you guys do and am I even in the same page as you as far as, because at the end of the night, if it's a long, there's been times I've been at the racetrack till 2 o'clock in the morning and working the whole time. And that's going straight home, not going to the pits afterwards, which I like to do because then it's really fun. But I'm going to admit there's a lot of times at the end of the night I'm whipped. I mean, I don't want to go sit in the pits and talk, even though I do. But, you know, it's not all that fun and games and easy. There is an art to it. It does take, I think, a little bit of talent. But what are your thoughts on your typical day?
Well, you go back to when I first started. We'd have to meet at we'd go meet at the Speedway at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. That was Larry McFall's thing, because we'd go meet there, go over points and everything else of what's going on, and then go for our night, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna have fun with, what's Chad gonna dance to tonight. So he has the music all keyed up and stuff like that. So, and I still do that till this day. I dance whatever the hell. So we were there at 2. Now with the current position I'm at with everything, it's really tough sometimes to get out of work early to get there.
Sure. Yep.
So I'm very thankful, 100%, that you go through and you test my microphone for me most nights. You have my voice, so you know I'm going to be loud or not. So I'm usually there about 5:30, 5:45. By that time, hot laps are already going to be starting.
Yep.
So I gear up, go. I get into the infield as fast as I can because my job now is to make sure the board's up and running, make sure we have that rolling. Then go through and I can start relaxing a little bit. Make sure I have my signs lined up because if I don't have my signs, but yeah, it's my typical night's probably about 5:45. I'm in a rush until we start. Once we start, then I'm good because I just. It's always about, okay, so I manage a shop, and you always rely on people to show up and do their job, right?
Yep.
So I 100% know in my heart that John's going to be there. My mic's going to be set. I don't have to worry about that. Just get my shit together. And then I'm done. So I watch a lot of Facebook. I used to post a lot on Facebook. I don't anymore, but I watch a lot of updates and stuff like that. Who's doing what.
Sure.
But
you got to try to stay on top of the times and what's happening.
You got to watch what everything's going on
Yep.
and try to stay as most current as you can. So you look at Twitter and stuff like that. And I used to be a big poster on that stuff, and I just don't anymore. I just read it. And if I share it, it's because something needs to be shared.
Sure.
So, but no, my nights go pretty hectic until we start. Once we start, then I get in my groove and I'm good. But to get there and get going, that's the biggest thing.
Now, before I get over to Brendan here, do people ever say to you, well, how do you know what you're going to say? Because my answer is always, you don't.
You don't.
You don't. You play it, you turn that mic on, and it's just like, boom, it
Yep.
comes to you. Is it the same with you?
100% it is. When you look at what we do at a night, and you can't ever have a script on that.
No.
You
No.
know, you can't ever assume what you're going to say. You don't have our one-liners in a script. It's just what we got to do. What did he throw?
I don't know. Looks like a body part from something.
Yeah, he threw it. Oh, yeah. You know, I think... I think we can't.
No.
You can't. You know, you have the Rick Ushermans and those guys that have announced here before. None of them have had the straight. He pulled the head off of that guy. None of them had
That's
this.
what that was. It was a head.
A head right off of him. It popped right off him.
Would have fooled me.
And it looked like sperm. So no, I'm with you. But they do comment and say, you know, can you say this tonight? Can you say this tonight?
Sure.
You know, and we try to get those as much as we can. Get hit with the birthday announcements. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. My phone
You
going
know.
nonstop during a Friday night. Can you mention this,
yeah.
mention that, mention this?
I think the funnest part we had a couple years ago when somebody celebrated their birthday at this, and it was a little
that
girl,
was fun, yeah.
and she celebrated her birthday at the racetrack. And so I found who it was. We walked up to her, and not very far from the booth.
Yep.
And I sat there and I said, John, we got to sing happy birthday to her. Well, John got out of the booth, came right over to her, and she was all red faced, you know. And we sang happy birthday to her, and then we gave her a shirt, and it's just
Those are the best, though.
The memories we can make for people is why we do it.
Yep.
You know, we do it for fun. Yeah, we have a great time doing it, and we get paid for do what we do.
Yeah.
But I tell
We're
you
not
what,
getting rich
No,
doing what we do.
absolutely not.
But we also love doing it.
I spend more
Right,
there
you
than
guys-
I do making.
Yeah.
You guys are getting underpaid?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
on a good night, I break even.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Now I'm playing this damn thing in my hand, but no, I'm with you on that. What's your thoughts on that?
See, and I think beginning of the night, we do kind of get a script. It's, you know, welcoming in, talking
Right.
about the night. I mean, that first little bit, yeah, you got a script. Under a red flag, you don't have a script. I
Yep.
mean, it's, okay, that, you know, you mute the mic. Okay, that one was really bad. You know, you're just kind of sitting there in your own thoughts, knowing, just waiting for that call from you saying, hey, everything's okay or whatever.
Right.
In Devil's Lake, we don't got that. We're relying on someone to throw a thumbs up
Yep.
over the bank.
Sure.
Well, yeah, and you don't have another guy to fill in air for you either. That's another big fill. I only know because I was in your shoes. It only helped me, right? You know, when Brandon Beater was over there, I'd give him a
Oh, yeah.
microphone.
Yep.
Like, dude, here we're gonna have to fill some air.
And he has no problem getting on a microphone.
Well, he's good for that.
He's good.
Very good.
He's very supportive of the whole of racing in general. That guy travels a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
totally get what you're saying. Red flags are tough.
Yeah, red. I hate him.
They are, you know, that's
What song do you play? Like
I don't.
Yeah.
So Parker wrecked last year on the backstretch in the non-wing,
yeah.
and it was a pretty nasty one. We didn't see how he landed or anything. I just left the music off. I shut my mic off. The crowd went silent, and then I turned the mic back on. I said, "We'll let you guys know an update here. Just a minute. Just sit tight, folks."
Yeah.
You know, and I have his grandma sitting right in front of me, so it's like, I'm looking at Heather. She's like, I'm not getting an update yet. I'm not getting an update. All of a sudden, we see the four-wheeler go by and Parker's on the back of it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, guys, he's okay. He's out of the car.
sigh
He's
of
good."
relief.
Yeah.
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 But it was 10, 15 minutes. And it's
Yeah.
like, Okay, what's
Get the
going on?
That's too much of a long, awkward pause.
Yes, way too much, and it really gets your stomach churning, gets everything going.
That's why I like what we've changed here. When John and I we have the live down below. Like John does a great job up front, and I try to. My biggest thing is trying to fill space for him so he can take a break, get a drink. Because if you go have a long feature race and you know how it is up there being that guy, he's talking and he's got cotton mouth. And he needs something to, wet the whistle. So if something like that happens, I try to take as much time as I can. And that I think the fans appreciate that too, is when you have those live caution reports and stuff like that. So,
absolutely,
it's a nice break.
Yeah. Do you get a sore throat? Can you feel the tension and the abuse on your vocal cords?
I either have a beer or a water sitting on the.
Yeah.
Has Heather ever brought you a drink yet?
I've had a couple hottie toddies in the booth.
No, I've never got Heather. Come on, I always have to go get my own beer.
If you show
what
up
you gotta
and
do is just say, Heather, I don't feel good. I got kind of a sore throat.
Oh, okay.
I've learned that, and I've done it twice now. One of the times
she's watching now. You're giving your.
I don't care.
and
she's done it to me too.
I mean, I'm going to be honest here. A lot of people say, "Oh, Jon Roberts, you see him; he's always got a beer in his hand." I do a lot, but when I get to the track, I bring one up. For the first half. During intermission, I grab another one. But this is the fun one. Not so bad at Devil's Lake. We've all been there.
Yeah.
You really got to pee, and you don't have time.
I've told Heather
you have got to run,
Oh.
even during intermissions. That's a long-ass run from up in the booth at River City Speedway to get down and then find a line of 50 guys waiting to go to the bathroom. And I got
knees are
2 minutes.
So what I started doing is, that music in between, intermission, chicken dance, Macarena, stuff like that, because then I can play it. It kills me about 10 minutes. I can go to the bathroom, grab a hot dog.
Sure.
I've told Heather several times I'm about to drill a hole back here.
Yeah, I told that to Bill at the racetrack. Get a funnel and a big piece of PVC and run it down a pipe.
That's what them windows are for in the side of the booth.
It just drain down.
Just hang it out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You hang on this.
River City Speedway announcer Jon Roberts arrested for urinating in public. Leighton would have a blast.
And now coming out of corner number 2 down the back straight. Oh, gee.
Oh, wait a minute. What?
I dribbled.
See, but to go off your rhythm thing, everything we do in a night, I get there, set up, same as you guys.
You got a routine.
Yeah.
Yep.
What time do you be at the track? What time?
I like getting there early.
Say if the race starts at 7, what time are you there?
I'm there 3:30.
Okay. Are you?
For Devil's Lake, we don't really leave the house till about 2 o'clock for Minot, so we get there before 5 o'clock.
Right.
Whatever. I know I'm not like the main guy, so I don't have to worry about getting everything set up.
Right.
All that. I can walk through the pits, do some talking, shooting the crap with some people, stuff like that. But I'll set up. What I'll do for Devil's Lake is I'll show up. I go to the bar right away.
Yeah.
Get some food, a drink, lose about $20 on the machines, and then go set my stuff up. Then go to the pits and then back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of same routine you guys got. It definitely sucks being the only one at Devil's Lake, but at the same time, it's nice because you don't have to rely on someone else to make sure everything's where you need it.
Yeah, and see, like at River Cities, we do stuff during intermission, and that's where you come in handy. Where you can run the show there for a while, candy toss, and whatever interviews are going on, and I can run to the bathroom.
Usually I get the thumbs up from John coming down. He'll do this to me and do this. I'm like, got it. I know where you're going. Okay, I'll kill the time.
Works out good.
Yeah.
That's why they call us the Bullring Boys.
That's right.
By the way, first prototype shirt. Remember
It's
this?
out. Yeah.
The first one.
Mine doesn't fit me no more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's too big for you?
Thank you for that.
I got a question for you guys because you guys have been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Who's probably one of the coolest people you guys have got to meet?
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I thought Kenny Schrader was pretty cool. Rico was cool. Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson was awesome. Casey Kane was an awesome guy.
Rusty Wallace.
He was fun.
Thought he was
met
pretty
him.
cool.
Yep.
It's funny because some of the coolest people I've met aren't the big names.
Yep.
These lightning sprint guys come from the West Coast, the Sextons. That group that was in here, I thought those were awesome guys.
You want Tony Stewart's dad?
Really?
I met his dad.
Yeah.
And that was probably the coolest guy. He was driving the INX Legends. They did tours up in Minot and stuff.
Yep.
His dad was there. And that was so cool. Just as we sat and talked, and just a normal level-headed guy. Like you don't really understand where Tony got his attitude from, because his dad is just the level-headed person.
Yeah, but that's not saying what's his dad like younger generation.
Oh, right.
'Cause now that Tony's older, Tony's kind of
he's
mellowed
a
out.
lot different. Okay,
Yeah.
coolest guy I ever met, Nick Bockwinkel. How's that? Having a beer with him in the Rusty Nail at Thief River, saying, "Dude, you don't look a day over 55."
Yeah. See, John's got it up on us because he's got to interview rock bands and country artists, and he's got to do this job pretty good. But yeah, it's cool for me, for my son, to be like, I met that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he's watching Kyle Larson race. Like I've talked to him.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. How about you?
Rico, we had him on the
Rico,
podcast.
good guy.
Really?
We had him on our podcast, and so how that came about is
He's just trying to one up us,
I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna text him on Facebook. Whatever. What do I got to lose? Worst is he gonna do? Tell me no or
Right.
block me.
Yep.
So shot him that message. I'm in the middle of a NASCAR race on iRace, and my phone goes off. I'm leading the race with 2 to go at Daytona. It's a pretty good race. It was for $500.
Right.
I just quit right away. And I looked at my phone. He goes, "Yeah, when do you want me on?" And I go, "No way, you're joking." Literally texted him that. He goes, "No, I'm serious, dude. Shoot me a call. Sent me his number, everything. Got it all set up. I'm not kidding you, dude. I was almost crying on the phone.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, you had to have been.
You know,
We were a month into having a podcast, and cool, now we got Rico on.
Tucker Hibbert, hopefully you're watching. Maybe you should listen and do this, because I reach out to him trying to get him on a Snurdy Thursday. He doesn't even reply. Heather, yes, you have brought me beer before. Thank you, Heather McDonald. Someone go to the Second Chance store and see if they have a handicap potty chair. That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Totally would do that too.
You'd have to sit down. That way, maybe you could drink Bud Light too.
The thing is, she don't care.
I
She's
know.
like, you go do it, whatever. Yeah. She's fine. So yeah, it's funny.
Travis Strandell, a good announcer, really makes the race great for the fans. Appreciate what all three of you guys do for racing.
you, buddy.
Travis Strandell,
Thanks, Travis.
you know, that's just hearing that. And one of my, it's so fun when you show up, because, hey, if you got to say during intermission, I'm going to run down to the bathroom and back, go to the beer garden and back. It's never a quick trip, because there's 100 people that want to say hi. They want to talk to you.
Yep.
I think that is one of the funnest things about going to the track. I'm so bad with names. Again, the 80s was hard on me, but I never forget a face. They all know our names.
Yep.
I can't remember yours, but you know them.
Yeah, and we
You know 'em, and
we
it's so
appreciate
good to
all
talk
that.
to 'em.
I mean, we appreciate all that and stuff. We trust me, we hear the good words, and you guys are awesome to us, and everybody says it. You know, and Brandon Beater says a lot about you, which is huge. That and you're really good at what you do right now. So keep that up.
I'm calling a lie on that one. Brandon talked. No, I'm just kidding.
Brandon, he's a true shooter. But have we ever had that one race fan that talked crap to you at the racetrack? Last year we did.
Yeah, dude, what was that about again?
Told me to shut up.
Yeah.
We talk too much. Amanda Jo had our back. Amanda Jo is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, we
I love her to
talk too
death.
much.
And they're like, well, they talk too much. Well, that's our job, dumbass.
Yeah, we're announcers.
Yeah. Like, if you don't like it, sorry.
Yeah,
You're going to hear it.
And another thing, too, I'm glad you brought this up. Maybe you saw a social media post from me. I was watching the Formula One race on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. You
from Miami.
texted me.
and you watch it. Okay, who was the guy announcing? Cool or Cool J or somebody. He even wore his stocking hat during the national anthem. You looked at the crowd. How many guys were wearing their stocking or their baseball hats or their toques or whatever during the national anthem? You know what happens if that happens at River City Speedway?
You call them out.
I do call them out, and you will not take a knee, but I might get in trouble for this.
See,
but that stuff kind of bothers me, and that's how I have got into it with people before, because it's like, come on, dude. You not only are you pissing me off, but you know how many veterans are in this crowd right now?
Oh, they love going to those things.
And you know how many of these people that fought for your freedom are offended by you wearing a hat?
You're pretty much just shitting on them right now.
You're absolutely right. It bothers the hell out of me.
It's funny you say that, though, because when I play the national anthem, that is what I look for.
Yeah.
Because I will stop it right dead smack in the middle, walk over and take their hat off of them.
when you play the national anthem, I get really nervous. Like when I play the national anthem, that's when my emotions hit me, and I'm just walking. I'm just sway back and forth. I have my head down, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, holy, it's almost go time, Chad. When I first started announcing, I talked really too fast. And Larry always tried to calm me down, and that's okay, Chad. You got to talk slow. You got to do this. You got to do this. So,
And that's
Doogie
easy to do.
Hauser's watching.
I think that goes for the track though.
Yeah.
On the talking,
Oh, sure.
You know, you can talk slow at Minot and get away with it because I don't know how you and Larry did it, but now we do. Okay, you take this lap, I'll take the next time.
That's how we did it. Yep.
Yep. Devil's Lake, you kind of got to talk fast. River City, you kind of got to. It's a shorter track, and if you are the only one in the booth, you got to get that play-by-play if there's action going on. I mean,
Yeah, and you also have to remember at River City Speedway, when they're coming down the front straightaway and everybody's underneath that grandstand, they
You're not
can't
gonna
hear a
hear
damn
nothing.
thing you're saying anyway. So you're trying to cram in all this play-by-play in half a lap.
Right.
You know, and we tell people,
Right.
get the radio headphones. You can tune it in to 89.9 on the FM dial. You can listen to everything.
Everything's
you
there.
you don't have to say, well, I can't hear you when they're coming down the front straightaway. You said Doogie was watching. You get to announce and talk to racers, plus Chad gets to hang out with me. That is cool.
Honestly,
Casey,
I get that guy to hug me now.
Doog's a great guy.
I love that
He's a
man.
great guy. And
Yep.
then this kid they have, K-Dog, he's like a man now. I
Yeah.
mean, have you heard him? He dogs like this now. He's like, geez, oh,
And his
wow.
hair's way long. and
He's
it
got
pisses me
he's got
off
the
'cause
long
he's
hair.
got hair.
Casey, the coolest people I had the pressure on meeting. I'm sure pleasure of meeting at the announcers at Devil's Lake the last few years. It's always
street
fun.
stock guys. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I think we always say it a lot is that we get to expand our family by our racing family.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a lot of these guys we meet now are part of that. And every time you meet somebody new, my Facebook group goes bigger because you get to see all these people and to follow them and their journey is pretty cool. Casey Status is one of those guys.
Yep.
For sure.
Casey also says when the national anthem starts is also when I first get the nervous and excited feeling as a driver. Absolutely. I remember back in the day when all the drivers used to go up and stand around the racetrack on the back stretch during the national anthem. I kind of wish, I mean, that's old school. You talk about white pants and all that stuff. I kind of wish they would do that again.
Right.
One thing I do want to mention and bring up, because this was a huge thing last year, especially at River City Speedway. If you go back to the last night of the year, going down to the track championship and the Buffalo Blazing Wings Challenge between Mark Dobmeyer and
Jade Hastings.
Jade Hastings. Thank you very much. The
He's
80s
already
again.
getting old.
80s.
80s. Technical difficulties, computers breaking down, transponders breaking down, things. I tell you what, compared to when I first started, Devil's Lake, when I first started, going back to like Hallock and Warren and things, we didn't have the computers. We didn't have the scoring. It was old school. You just had to remember and you had to look and hopefully you could
Notebooks.
see their numbers. Yep. But now we rely on it, and it's made the game so much better because I can tell you within a thousandth of a second who's doing what and their lap times and all this stuff. But all of a sudden, if that computer crashes on you, it's like you're lost.
Yeah.
At least me.
Yep.
What do you do in those situations?
Honestly, I'm not even in the booth half the time.
I never was either.
I'm got the mic in hand. I'm out on the walkway, walking back and forth.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking with people as I'm announcing. I'm getting into it. And going back, you say the national anthem makes you nervous. That's my time to find the rowdy section because as soon as it's over, I'm like Bruce Buffer, getting people ready to go for the main event before we're not even in heat races yet.
Right.
He said Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer.
You know who he is? MMA announcer.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of his brother?
Yeah, didn't
Michael Buffer is the one that started. Let's get ready to rumble.
Nice.
And Bruce is the kind of fighting out of this
Yep.
corner. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
80s. But no, it's I don't know. I'm rarely in the booth.
Yeah. Can
Unless
you
it's
officially
super
say
windy.
you're hooked?
Oh, dude, I was hooked night one.
Yeah.
I was hooked night one.
It's like a drug, isn't it?
It's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's you're looking at the back of everybody's heads, which is super easy to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, Heather Nolan had me do the MC at the thing, and I asked everybody to turn around while I was announcing awards because I wasn't used to looking at everybody's faces. And but at the same time, it's relieving at the end of the night knowing this really can't go on. I mean, it can. Obviously, the
Right.
race can go on without it, but going back to Travis's thing, you learn a lot. Look at the Trophy Dash in Devil's Lake.
Yeah.
If you got 2 cars, you gotta make it interesting. You gotta
sure you do.
learn to
Oh,
make
gosh,
it
yeah.
interesting.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's your job.
Yep.
You know, we get to the point to where whether people like it or not, we run a circus too.
Yep.
It is. Yeah.
And we got to be that clown. We got to be that guy to tell a joke,
Keep it-
lighten the mood. We have to do that.
Yeah, and Brad Sang is one that put it to me that way a few years ago. It's a circus atmosphere. You keep the show rolling as
Yep.
fast and as steady as you can, and you bring the people all the entertainment that
Yeah.
they paid for, and you try to get out of there in a timely fashion.
Even
but
through
that
rain
is
delays.
what it's like. Yeah. And, oh,
Even-
boy.
You and I have been through some Johnson's Memorial rain delays.
Oh, yeah, we
And
have.
We've done Macarenas down the.
We've danced, we've napped, we've went and got caricatures drawn of us during rain delays.
During rain delays, I've took the microphone down to the concession stand and talked to people as they're getting their food.
Yep.
I mean, we just got to fill that space.
So actually, to fill that space, I told Nolan and Heather if we for some reason have a puddle in the middle of Devil's Lake, and you know how it gets if there is a puddle down there. During intermission, I'm gonna go grab a floaty and I'm gonna go sit out there in a floaty during intermission.
That'd be kind of
That
fun.
can happen.
Amanda Joe's laying in a freaking hammock right now.
That was last night, I think.
Oh, okay. I just got it.
Well, Amanda Joe's lovely.
Yeah.
But no, to answer your question, I rarely look at the live timing.
Yeah.
I'm out pacing around, looking around. In Minot, I do.
Right.
Just because I have it there in Minot's facility. So I'm not going to say it's better than Devil's Lakes because you got to see what you're working with at each place. Devil's Lake's privately owned.
Oh, they're all completely different.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, but it's right there. I'm in that booth. There is really no going out and walking around in Minot.
Right. No,
So-
absolutely not. No, you have 110 stairs to the bottom.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm fat.
Yeah, and I've been there. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, that's another thing about radio or about racetrack announcers. Well, unless you throw out Johnny Gibson, most of us are well fed.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a good way of putting it?
Oh,
Most of us
yeah.
are
Oh,
well
yeah.
fed.
No, it is, and he's right. It's all about the track you go to and what the facility is that you can judge it, and then when you go to Devil's Lake, you can have a lot more fun than other places.
Oh, yeah.
because Nolan and Heather do awesome things where they give you the freedom to do pretty much
drink in the
anything.
booth.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. You could pretty much do anything you want, have fun with everything, and there's no real guidelines. Just make sure we announce the sponsors. That's the big thing. So,
Yep.
but just after that, then have some fun with it. So I was pretty cool about that.
Well, the fun part about Devil's Lake is when you're done, you go over to the bar, hang out, get food, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All the drivers know who you are, even if you don't know the driver's face.
Yeah, everybody does.
No,
It's like,
you always gonna say, "Hey, yeah, what car do you have?" Yeah, okay, now I got
well, it
you.
was funny. We were doing awards,
Yeah.
and I had no clue what
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Shue looks like.
Sure.
I had no clue what another person, Chris
Yeah.
Kruk, looked like. And I'm like, yeah, Chris Kruk, is he even here? And he stands up, and I go, yep, he's here. Can you guys just like bring your cars in? 'Cause I don't know any of you guys by
That's
faces.
and I've said this many times. That's one thing I like about Dirty Thursday is I actually get to see somebody without a helmet on,
Agreed.
in a race suit, and I actually get to see what they look like, and I get to meet them instead of just screaming their name. But and it's brought us many more friends. It has brought me many more
100%.
friends.
You got something to add or what?
No,
You haven't-
he's just waiting
Look
for
at you
us.
have a hat on. Did you have a hat on the whole time? Oh, see how
He was
observant-
actually bringing it to you. 'cause
90s
that light's
for you?
starting to
Do you
Do you
ball
see
those.
how observant I am?
90s for you, 80s for me. Hey, Tori Martin's watching from down in Florida. We miss you, kid.
I miss you, Tori. Thanks, buddy, for chiming in.
So what we miss? Did we forget anything? Did we miss anything?
I could add something.
Oh, here we go.
So we'll have more details for this later, but so if you watch, we'll say our next week's Big Screens and TV Streams show, we got 2 tickets to the Midsummerfest Gone Country Tour, $300 value.
Wow.
So two passes for that, but you gotta watch Big Screens and TV Streams to find out how to win those.
And that is where again?
That's Wednesdays at 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Where's the concert?
Monagan?
Managa,
Monaga.
Minnesota, I think, or is it Monaga, North Dakota? I don't know. No, Monaga. Did you ever heard of Monaga?
No.
It's Minnesota. Yeah,
Oh.
Monaga. Saskatoon. All right. Okay. All right. Showed my bad. Wonder what Tori meant there.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you came in today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going over to Rumors to get mac and cheese, though, before I leave.
Oh, I was telling him about the artery hardening mac and cheese.
It's good.
You'll be hearing your arteries crackle and pop as you're on your way home today.
Oh,
It's
dude,
that
I love
good.
I love their mac and
Oh,
cheese.
yeah.
good. It's good. No,
I like their beer towers too, but I didn't bring a DD, so
Yeah, you gotta be careful on that. Yeah. No, I think this show was honestly, John, as well needed.
Yeah.
You know, this is something people got to hear some more stuff about what we do. And
you know, we've hit everybody. We hit pit guys. We've hit fire and rescue crew. We've hit their wives, their girlfriends, mechanics, track promoters,
track prep
guys. It's about time.
Firefighters.
I thought that, and I'm going to blame it on him. He's one that you actually messaged me or texted me saying, "Hey, how about get me on the show?" And I'm going, you know what? Let's just do a track announcer show.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome
I commented last week. I said we should do a Devil's Lake 3. You know, the 3 guys that have announced Devil's Lake, whatever. I texted Heather and she goes, "Just call him."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So I called him. He goes, "Yeah, let's do it." Mm-hmm. He goes, "It'd be
cool.
perfect." I said, "But the only way I'm coming on is if Chad Hoff is there." I did say that.
And you know, that's all. You never know because he does get swamped sometimes.
Yep.
And there's times it's 2 minutes before showtime and I find out he can't make it. Ashton says, "Great show, guys. Thanks for having Grover on. Me and his mother are so proud of him."
Oh, my God.
We've
Get
had
outta
record
here.
drivers and crew on too, Nick.
Yeah.
So
No, I think this is, like I said, is well needed. And, you know, props to you, man, for doing what you're doing because I think it's great. Even though people are giving him crap on the thing, because I think he's pretty
part of the deal.
Yeah,
He's
well,
part of the game.
He's actually going to be the best man at my wedding.
there you go.
Oh, is that
So,
right?
yeah.
Cool.
Me and your mom, that's hilarious. No, so keep doing what you're doing. Dude, have fun this summer. Looks like you have a busy ass schedule, so have fun with
40
that.
races.
Yeah.
And proud to announce, thank you, Marcus Tomlinson, if you're still listening, for reaching out. I am actually super happy to be announcing Underwood this year.
Nice, good,
So
good.
And our last comment before we sign off, Kevin
Yes.
Pappenfuss, great show.
Thanks,
Hey,
you buddy. Thanks,
thank you,
John.
guys.
Appreciate it, big
Thanks,
guy.
guys.
You guys are what make this show so good. Thank you very much. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. There you go. We're going to call it a dirt track racing announcing day on the Dirty Thursday today. Thank you very much again for the other half of the Bullring Boys. Chad Hopper coming in and Brendan Grover. Catch him at a track near you. You're going to be seeing him more and more all the time. And a big shout out to Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. You know, they've got that big sports card and memorabilia show going on this Saturday from 10 to 4, May 13th. You want to find out more, call 701-740-5278. Now, we heard Brendan mention that he's heading over to Rumor Sports Bar and Casino because he wants some of their mac and cheese. They have got incredibly good food over there, whether it's lunch or supper or whatever. In fact, their supper special tonight from 5 to 11, sandwich and a side for just $7. Do that. Watch the NHL playoffs or the NBA playoffs. Get yourself a world-famous beer tower and enjoy at Rumors Sports Bar and Casino. Hey, make sure to catch Bill and Monty and the rest of the crew at 6:30 tonight for Fork Sports Highway. Probably the best, not probably, it is the best local sports show, hands down. I will see you tomorrow morning. Have yourself a great day, and remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a Dirty Thursday again. You know, the Grand Cities are awesome. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.